با سلام و خسته نباشید عزیزان. خیلی خوش آمدید به قسمتی دیگر از برنامه فارسی آخرین عهد. حمیدرضا مهدی هستم در خدمت شما عزیزان و برادر عزیزم امیر مهدی. خیلی خوش اومدی امیر جان.
سلام، برکت خدا بر شما و بر بینندگان عزیز.
الحمدلله. واقعا خدا رو شاکریم که باز به ما فرصتی داد که بتونیم بیایم و در خدمت شما عزیزان باشیم. عزیزان اگر برنامه رو دنبال کرده باشین، ما دیروز اگر توجه کرده باشین، یعنی خیلی بخوام به طور یعنی راحت بگم، واقعا مکتب نجف رو کلاً ویران و نابود کردیم با تمام مدارک و مستندات و شواهدی که به صورت ویدیویی برای شماها عزیزان نشون دادیم و توضیح دادیم و برادر بسیار ارجمند و عظیم و عزیزمون برادر علیرضا هم توضیح خیلی واضح و کاملی رو در این رابطه دادند. قسمتش رو هم به صورت آنلاین برای شماها آپلود کردیم در کانال یوتیوبیمون، حتما میتونید تماشا کنید. ولی خب معمولا یک سری از اونها هستن که یک سوال هست که به اصطلاح مکتبی ها، به اصطلاح میگیم مکتبی ها یعنی کسایی که هنوز پافشاری میکنن و میگن احمد الحسن بعد از این همه شواهدی که ما به اونها نشون دادیم و ثابت کردیم هنوز پافشاری میکنن، میگن خیر احمد الحسن با ماست. تنها سوالی رو که برای ما میارن و اونم هنوز نمیتونن ثابت کنن که احمد الحسن باهاشونه، فقط میخوان یه علامت سوال بزرگ رو دعوت ما بذارن که نمیچسبم. این هستش که میگن خب در وصیت اونجایی که میگه و او 3 اسم دارد، عبدالله، احمد و المهدی و او اولین مؤمنین هست، میگن که این حدیث وصیت این 3 اسم، هر 3 اسم اشاره داره به یک فرد، به یک شخص و اون احمد الحسنه. شماها به چه صورت دارید اینو استفاده میکنید که بگید عبدالله هاشم الصادق علیه السلام مهدی دومه؟ به چه صورتی داره یه همچین ادعایی میکنه؟ دلیل چیه؟ خیر اینجا 3 تا اسمه، 3 نفر نیست، ولی ما میگیم خیر 3 نفر هست. اتفاقا یک کامنتی هم برای ما زده بودن، اگر پیکچر 1 تصویر اول برای ما بذارن عزیزان، ببینید حتی یک کامنت هم برای ما گذاشته بودن، میگن شما میگید که پیامبر در وصیت 3 تا مهدی اول رو اسم برده، ولی اینجا داره میگه که او 3 اسم داره. اوکی، خیلی تشکر. خب این سوال هم از ما، یعنی سبحان الله، همین دیروز این کامنت رو داده بودن، یعنی همین دیشب، هنوز 24 ساعت نگذشته از این کامنت، و خب ما هم این فرصت رو به دست آوردیم، یعنی لازم میبینیم که جوابی محکم و قوی به اونها بدیم با سند و مدرک، و چه بهتر این که یک متخصص عربی، کسی که تخصصش زبان عربی هست، بیاد این موضوع رو توضیح بده، تا اینکه حالا مایی که زبانمون فارسی هست. چون امیر جان میدونیم مشکل چیه؟ مشکل اینجاست که این وصیت رو وقتی از عربی به فارسی ترجمه میکنی، خیلی از این لغات عربی به خاطر قواعدش یا به خاطر اون کلمات، معنی و حروف، این کلا معنی اصلش رو از دست میده وقتی میاد تو فارسی. همه چیز نمیتونه منتقل بشه. دقیقاً همه چیز نمیتونه 100% کپی پیست بشه اینور که شما دقیقاً بتونید درک کنید. ولی یه عرب قشنگ میفهمه ما داریم چی میگیم، ولی غیر عرب براش سنگینه، چون میاد ترجمه رو میخونه و متوجه نیست. و ما امروز برای شما یک ویدیویی تهیه کردیم. حالا الان فعلا تا اون ویدیو رو برای شما بذاریم، تا دقایق دیگر میخوایم یک دلیل دیگر رو بیاریم و به مکتبی ها ثابت کنیم، و اون هم امیر عزیز تهیه کردن، به مکتبی ها ثابت کنیم که این دلیلی رو که ما امروز داریم بهشون میدیم و پاسخی رو که داریم بهشون میدیم، این رو خود مکتبی اصلا دارن استفاده میکنن سالهای ساله برای دعوت خودشون. بفرمایید امیر عزیز.
بله، ببینید اون یه حدیثی هست که در حقیقت میفهمد که اون 2 نام دارن، صحابه هم در قائم 2 نام دارن. یکی از نامها آشکار هست، یعنی اعلام شده و میدونن، و نام دیگر پنهان است. نام آشکار در حقیقت محمد است و نام پنهان احمد.
اتفاقا این حدیث رو تهیه کردیم. پیکچر 2 تصویر دوم هست. بله. بفهم
که او 2 نام دارد، نامی پنهان و نامی آشکار. آنکه پنهان است احمد است و آنکه آشکار است محمد است.
اوکی.
بله، تشکر. و خیلی از پیروان مکتب مکتب باطل یا در حقیقت کسانی که ادعا میکنن پیرو امام احمد الحسن وصی و فرستاده امام مهدی هستند، از این روایت علیه شیعیان 12 امامی استفاده میکنن، کسانی که میان و وصی بودن امام احمد الحسن رو رد میکنن. در حقیقت پیروان امام احمد الحسن علیه السلام میان و این رو خیلی آشکار استفاده میکنن. اما خود اون افراد حالا وقتی که میان و ما این رو بهشون میگیم که ببینید به همون شکلی که در اینجا این امر داره، این دو اسم داره به دو شخصیت متفاوت اشاره میکنه، وقتی این همین امر در وصیت ما بهشون میگیم که 3 اسم در حقیقت داره به 3 شخصیت اشاره میکنه، متاسفانه اون از ما نمیپذیرن، در حالی که خودشون این همون رو دارن علیه شیعیان 12 امامی استفاده میکنن که این وصیت این روایت حقی هم هستش، روایت درستی هست، یعنی 2 اسم به 2 شخصیت دارن اشاره میکنن. و ما به همین صورت میگیم که 3 اسم در وصیت در حال اشاره به 3 شخصیت هستن. پس اگر اون رو میپذیرین ای پیروان مکتب، اگر این رو میپذیرید اون 3 اسم در وصیت که به 3 شخصیت مختلف هم اشاره میکنه باید بپذیرین. دقیقاً.
و اگر مکتبیا شما امروز این قضیه وصیت رو که ما به صورت واضح و آشکارا داریم توضیح میدیم برای شما و داریم بهتون میگیم رد کنید، در حقیقت شما اصلا داری حقانیت دعوت خودت رو هم میبری زیر سوال. یعنی چرا تفکر نمی کنید؟ چرا فکر نمی کنید؟ برید گوشه بشینید، خواهش میکنم وقت بذارید، نمیدونم اگه لازم مدیتیشن کنید، لازم با خدا صحبت کنید، یکم استراحت کنید، فکر کنید با خودتون. شما اگر امروز بیا این حرف و تهمت کذب که ارزش و قیمت و حقیقتی هم نداره امروز بیای بخوای بچسبونی به دعوت حق، در حقیقت داری دعوت خودتو زیر سوال میبری. چرا انقدر ضعیف کار میکنید؟ چرا انقدر یعنی واقعا با جهل میاین جلو؟ چرا آبروی خودتون رو میبرید؟ اگر سکوت کنید برای شما خیلی بهتره و بیشتر فایده داره و بیشتر ارزش داره. و امروز قائم آل محمد گفتن تمام کسانی که الان با مکتب موندن دیگه منافقینی بیش نیستن و اکثر پیروان اونها آنها رو ترک کردن. خب این ویدیویی که الان ما تهیه کردیم توسط برادر عزیزم و عظیمم دکتر علی قریفی تهیه شده که به زبان عربی تسلط کامل دارن و برای شما توضیح میدن که این حدیث وصیت چطور اشاره داره به 3 نفر. حتما این رو نگاه کنید و توجه کنید که استفاده کنید عزیزان. بریم ویدیو رو تماشا کنید.
اعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد الائمه والمهديين وسلم تسليما. السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. Today we're going to talk, our lecture is about the Holy Will. The content of this lecture is actually 4 topics here. Number 1, without the will, no contact with God. Second, the 3 names in the will. Third is the will. We're going to talk about, briefly about the will during the history of the Muslims, and the last is the memories of Wahhab and Nasrani. Let's start. Let's start first with this verse. Verse of Quran is Al-Baqarah 30. What is saying here? When your Lord said to the angels, indeed I will make upon the earth a successive authority, they said, you will place upon it one who causes corruption therein and sheds blood? While we declare your praise and sanctify you, Allah said, indeed I know that which you don't know. What is verse talking here? He is talking the verse basically about a conversation between God and the angels. God told the angels, I will put a successor on this planet, a ruler, successive authority. The angels, they told him, no, why? We're worshiping you. What the answer of God? God didn't consider this alternative, as if they're putting an alternative for the successive authority. God didn't consider their worshiping. As if they're saying, or he's saying actually, without the successive authority, I will never accept your worship. What does that mean? That means if we take this verse and we apply it on the people now, this is DNA age. What are you going to find? We're going to find the scholars, the shuyukh from Sunnah, Maraja, they go to the people, to the masses, and they told them, do you know what? Worship God. Pray. Go to the mosque, fast, go to the Hajj, and God will accept that from you. They're going basically against the will of God. God, he's saying here, without the successive authority, I will not accept any worship. And the scholars, they're saying against. They're deceiving people, basically. And if you read this fascinating verse, you're going to find there is something don't make sense. How? Imagine that somebody coming to me and told me, Dr. Ali, we want to assign a ruler for this country. I told him, we don't need. I'm making tasbih, I'm praying, and I'm fasting. Saying like, this don't make sense. We're talking about two different topics. He's talking about the ruler, I'm talking about worship. And here is the same. God talking about the rulership. And the angels talking about worship. This don't make sense. The only one person this planet who makes sense of this verse is al-Sadiq alayhi salatu. When he said the religion of God is what? Supremacy of God. Now making sense now. The angels here, they know that the supremacy of God is part of the religion. But they didn't want this part in the planet Earth. And they give alternative. Okay, just their worship is enough. God said, no. I will never accept anybody, the worship of anybody in this planet without the successive authority, without the supremacy of God. And you see here, like, Ahlul Bayt, what did Ahlul Bayt say? Ahlul Bayt said, who dies without knowing the hujjah of his time, who will die the death of ignorance. And actually the word ignorance in Arabic is jahiliyyah. It's describing the people who lived before Prophet Muhammad. Actually, it's not ignorance. The meaning, no. It's describing the people before Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What the verse mean? Who die without knowing the hujjah of the time will die death of ignorance. They mean like, who do that, who don't know his imam, when he die, as if he didn't get the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's not a Muslim anymore. He cannot claim to be Muslim. So without the hujjah, he cannot be a Muslim. And this is the same with the content here. So you see now, the Quran, Ahlul Bayt, al-Sadiq, in the same line. About what? About the fundamental part of religion. How could they say this man is false claimer when you're coming with the fundamental part of religion? They couldn't before solve this controversy here. He's the only one who could do it. Now we go to the other verse. Here's the other verse in the Zukhruf 84 says, and it is Allah who is the only deity in the heaven and on the earth, the only deity, and he is the wise, the knowing. What's this verse talking about? You're talking about there is two gods, basically. One in the heaven, and the one in the heaven told us like there is a God in the earth. And this is a very important thing. If we want to know God, we who are living on this planet, we should know where we're going to find this God. It's an important thing. Let's take us to this question. How does God exist in the earth? this verse answer. Hajar 29 said, and when I have proportioned him and breathed into him of my soul, then fall down to him in prostration. Here, God talking with the angels. He said, when I blow inside him part of my spirit, whom? Adam, prostrate to him. So, here's the God in the earth. He's the deity of the earth. So if we want to look for the deity of the earth, for the God of the earth, okay, we should look for this vessel, this man, the Hujjah, the Imam al-Zaman, if we want to have a contact with God. That's right? And here there's an important question. Now, from the first verse, we know that God said, part of my soul in Adam. Okay, when the death approaching Adam, who going to tell us the destiny of this spirit that dwelled in Adam? To whom will go? That's right. The answer is easy. We should ask Adam. What does mean? In the well. Wow, what's the conclusion now? The conclusion is, without the will, we will never know the successor. Without the will, we will never have a contact with God. Without the will and the successor, no worships will be accepted from us of God. How important the will. That's right? Yes. Now we go to the whole will of Prophet Muhammad. Before that, we need to talk something about the will of Jesus, peace be upon him. Here's the first of the Saf number 6. This ayah says, and mentioned when Jesus, the son of Mary, said, O children of Israel, indeed I am the messenger of Allah to you, confirming what came before me of the Torah and bringing good tidings of a messenger to come after me, whose name is Ahmad. But when he come to them with clear evidence, they said, this is obvious magic. And before we discuss this thing, we want to put this question. Can anybody claim Jesus will? What he said. He said, so for us, like, there's a prophet after me called Ahmad. And it's very easy. Can anybody name Ahmad, okay, want to be a false prophet? There's a lot of false prophets. Because step forward and say, like, you know, I'm Ahmad who mentioned by Jesus. But if this happened, this will put a huge question mark about the credibility of Jesus. Because Jesus now, when he step forward and say, like, there's a prophet after me called Ahmad, or the name Ahmad, and he knows there's such possibility that means that he intentionally won't put us in misguidance. And if he don't know that, this possibility could happen, they make the situation much worse. That's right? Now, what does this will of the will of Jesus mean in practice? That's mean in practice. Just bear with me because this is 2 points is important to understand the will of prophet. That means there is a man, should be a man who claimed to be prophet, and he is known. His name is Ahmed, and known between the people around him who are living with the name of Ahmed. Does it make sense? That's right. But there's 2 conditions. This is important. Now we go to the whole will of Prophet Muhammad. Peace is from him. Here I took actually the last part, the last 2 lines, because the first part is like talking about the Prophet, about the Imams, and this is not our topic now. Now we're talking about the names. What this part is saying, then there will be 12 Mahdis after him, mean the 12 Imam. So if death comes to him, let him hand it over to his son, the first of the close ones. He has 3 names. one like mine and my father's, and it is Abdullah, servant of God, and Ahmad the praised, and the third name is Al-Mehdi, the guided, and he is the first of the believers. Here, this important thing before we start. This will written in Arabic. You know, like when a text translated from one language to another language loses some of the meanings. Why? Because in the original language used to have some characteristics. Like the author used to, because like he used to talk this language, used to use this characteristic to describe some deep meaning. And when this text translated to another language, who don't have this characteristic, will lose some of the meaning. This is an important thing. That's why, like, if we want to know the meaning of the names, we should go back to the Arabic version of this part of the will. And here's the important question: are the three names in the will referring to one or to three persons? Okay, let's go. This is the first evidence. First evidence here, Prophet Muhammad says he has three names, but in Arabic, he didn't say actually three names. He said three asami. Asami and ism in Arabic, if you translate it to be, you will get only name. That's right. But in Arabic, there is some difference between ism and asami. He didn't say three names, actually. He said three asami. What's the difference here? The difference here is ism means name. Like, for example, my name is Ali. But asami actually mean called for. And here, one person can be called for more than one name. He can called for me, I'm called Ali. I also called with my nickname, and I called with my kunya. So the only one condition, actually, that one person have three names when he has three asami, name, nickname, and kunya, for example. But if we go to the well, Ahmad, Abdullah, Mehdi, there is not a nickname. There is no kunya. This name of person. And there is no one in this planet Earth ever has a bond or get a bond and named him Ali, Hasham, and Abbas. Three different, no way he called him one name. But he can give him three, he can call him for many different names, Asami. So why he used Asami here? And there is no nickname, because he's talking about three persons. He said, these three persons have three asami, one with name of Abdullah, one with name of Ahmad, one with name or called for or name is Al-Mehdi. This is number one. Number two, if we read this two lines, we find there is a sentence mean nothing. Like why Prophet Muhammad put it there. And this sentence is one like my name, one like mine and my father's. Ismun Kasmi wa Ismi Abi, before he start mentioning Ahmad Abdullah. Why? He could easily say he has three names, Ahmad, Abdullah, Mehdi, and that's it. Why he make it so complicated? What the idea? And we know Prophet Muhammad is very like genius man in Arabic, because he wrote the Quran. He's like a genius man. He cannot make something means nothing or write something that means nothing. Let's see what that means. Let's focus in this part. One like mine and my father's name, Ismu Kasmi wa Ismu Abi. Here, before we start, I want to just teach you about one letter, the rules of one letter in Arabic. And this letter is the waw. In English, it means and. In Arabic, this is called harf atuf, letter of atuf. What the meaning of a letter of atuf? When this letter exist in the sentence used to connect, to make a connection. يعطف, make connection. يعطف, make connection between either the name before, when one of the names after him, or a sentence, for example, a sentence after him with a sentence before him, or a meaning after him with a meaning of before him. So word, sentence, meaning. Okay? So now let's start here. Make i'rab, what they call it, i'rab in Arabic language. Ismun ka-ismi, name like my name, and like my father's name, wahwa. He is coming with wow. Now we should, the word after it, related to the one of the words here. Abdullah related to my father's name or to my name. Logic, to my father's name, because Abdullah. We get now the second wow. This should relate Ahmad to one of these. He can't relate it to Abdullah? No. He can't relate it to his father? No, it's occupied. It's related to my name. Logic. Prophet Muhammad called Ahmad, and here is Ahmad. That's clear? Yes. You understand it? Yes. No, you didn't catch it. Prophet Muhammad, this is a question. Prophet Muhammad and his father, are they one or two person? No, they are two person. So here we understand it, why he put this sentence. He want to tell us, me and my father, two persons. So Abdullah and Ahmad is two persons. Two. Now it makes sense. Another evidence. Here's something don't make sense in this sentence. Why? Because he said, name like my name and my father's name, and he is. This is totally wrong in Arabic. Because he's talking about plural, two. He should say, and they are. And he's saying, and he is. Why? Obviously, because he's talking about persons. He don't talking about names. And he want to say, he is Abdullah, my father, he is Abdullah. That's right? Another evidence. Here, I want to tell you something first, before we study this part. If I say, this person has a name like my name, and you ask me, what is his name then? I said, Ali. I said, that does not make sense. Why you say, like my name? Your name is Ali, and his name is Ali. You should have said, this person have the same name of my name. That's right? It does not make sense. That's right otherwise. But here we find Prophet Muhammad doing that. Ismun ka-ismi, name like my name and my father's name, and he is Abdullah. His father is Abdullah. And Ahmad, his name is Ahmad. So like, no make sense. He should say the same name, not like my name. Why? The answer is easy, because he is not talking about names, he's talking about persons. Let's take the other one. Here we go to the third wow, when we're talking about the third name. Here, the wow, the harf al-atuf, relate what here? We said either word, sentence or meaning. This, if we say it's relating word and the name of the third, you cannot relate it with all of them, because all of them is occupied now. So this is related with word, just related to the asami, names. But if it relates sentence, so he relate this sentence with this sentence, because this sentence, this name like my name and my father's name, took Abdullah and Ahmad so far away from the third man. So what he's saying basically, and the third person, because we said here there are two persons. If you're talking about sentence, if he's talking about meaning, yeah, for sure. He's talking about, in the meaning here, he's talking about persons, and the other is third person. Another evidence. Here again we find like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam puts two words that make no sense in the apparent. He described the third man, or the third name, with Awwal al-Mu'mineen, the first of the believers. Why? What does mean? Let's go to the Quran to figure it out. If we go to the Quran, in the whole Quran, the only one who described the first of the believers is Moses. And الصادق عليه الصلاة والسلام said the third Mehdi is Moses. Isn't that incredible? Here is another evidence. Prophet Muhammad said the third person, he is not like me and my father, he is Moses. There's another evidence that he's talking about persons, not names. This is very clear. Now it became clear. And the last evidence, this is the only one. How dare you saying like the Prophet Muhammad, this wall is fake, or saying like Muhammad, peace sallallahu alaihi wasallam, didn't write his will. Do you know what that means? When the scholars like claiming such like ridiculous claims, they basically saying Muhammad didn't write the will. And when you go to the Quran asking like, okay, what the judgment of the God for the person who don't write the will, God say he will die the death of ignorance. And we talked about the ignorance, Jahiliyyah, the time before Muhammad, like as if Muhammad died, they claiming that Muhammad died the death of Abu Lahab. Jahiliyyah. He's not Muslim. How that could make sense? Even if they say this will is not authentic, okay, he wrote, but this is not authentic. At the end of the day, we didn't get it, as if like Muhammad didn't write it. So this make no difference. Now we're going to the third part. Now it's clear, like the names is talking about three persons. Now take the third part, let's be talking briefly about the will during a period of time of the Muslims. Look, during the time between the death of Prophet Muhammad to the ghaiba of the 12 Imam, when the 12 Imam were doing occultation. If we divide the people in three groups, for example, the rulers, the normal people, and the 12 Imam. We're going to find that the people, normal people, at that time, who living during this period, they don't living alone, not just Muslims. There is a Christian and Jewish. And between the Christian and Jews, there is a very, very hard debate about the will. Because the Christian, one of the most important evidence that Jesus is true, is the will of Moses. So the will during this time between the Christian and Jewish is a living concept. At the same time, the Muslims during this time, they don't have so long time between them and like the death of Prophet Muhammad. Many of them, they have like grandfather who attend the Bay'at al-Ghadir. And they know Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ali ibn Abi Talib, and they know Muhammad, he wanted to write the will, and Umar, he didn't let him to do it, and they know what happened of the Prophet Muhammad, and they know all these people in the rulership, they just false, they are tyrant, Prophet cannot have such successors. And they know that the companion of the well is there, 12 imam. So the well, during them, is a living culture. So basically the imams during this time, they're sitting home, they're isolating them, they're holding the well, and just by the well, they scared all the people in the palace, the rulers. I make the people in the street confused. How could this happen? That's right or not? But why now people, they don't listen? They're going to tell them the world, they don't say, well, because after the disappearance of the imam, 12 imam, the concept of the world disappeared from the street, because the imam, who make the concept of the world a living concept. And here we're going to have the next question. Like, okay, if the ruler during the Abbasids, they are so stressed and embarrassed by the well, and they are at the same time have faked or fabricate a lot of narration, why they couldn't fabricate a one? They can't. Why? Do you know why? Because if for example, Muawiyah who want to write a will, he should put Abu Bakr as the first successor. But during the time of Abu Bakr, Uthman, and Muawiyah, in 20 years, these three stupids, they propagate Allah that Muhammad didn't write the will. So Muawiyah, he cannot, like, after 20 years step forward and tell the Muslims, you know, guys, I find the well, and unfortunately, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, they didn't know about it, and the fourth one, or the fifth one. This don't make sense. No one going to buy it from him. So the road is cut in front of him to ride the well. There's no way. So the well is safeguarded. And by the way, if you go read in the history, write Khulafa min ba'di 12, the successor after me, like 12 Khalifa, 12 successors. And you're going to find there is many narration, they are actually tried to fake a will. You find that, for example, Abbasis, they're saying, do you know what? Mansur and the Safah and the Mehdi, they have a ruler called the Mehdi, and this Mehdi will hand it over to Jesus. They want to say he's the Mehdi. They tried to fake a will, but nobody bought it. You're going to find that the Umayyad, they also tried to fake a will. Okay? And there is, the funny thing, there's a narration who said, the successors of Prophet Muhammad, there are 12, but the last one is Uthman. Okay? So you're going to find these people that was so confused. Because what? Because Prophet Muhammad, he put this concept. He said during his life, before he mentioned the 12 Imam, he said, my nuqaba is 12. My successors is 12. There's many narrations. You're going to find into all the Sunnis, and this is the important and so embarrassing topic for this Sunnah during this time. And when you ask them what their names, and they don't know. Now we go to the last part, and here we have the memories of Wahab al-Nasrani. As you understand, this is one of my memories. One time in Sweden, I was thinking, what I know about Wahab, actually, from the history, like this guy was a priest, Christian. He got a dream where Jesus asked him to join the caravan of Imam Hussein. But I'm thinking, like, how, like, just dream make this man take a huge decision? Because look, just think about it. This guy, or I lived in the Arabia, where between the Muslims, and there is, as I told you, there's a hard debate between the Christian and the Jewish about the will, and Jesus and Moses wrote the will for Jesus. And Wahab, he was a priest. He was debating for that. Okay? And at the same time, in this Arabia, The confrontation is not with the Jews. No, they have another confrontation. There is a prophet called Muhammad. He came with the will of Jesus. When he mentioned his successor after him is called Ahmad. And by the way, this text, we cannot find it now. And this is like, yeah, it's expected because there's a lot of books. The Library of Iskandariya, they burn it. Mongolia, they throw all the books of Baghdad until they turn the water of Tigris to black. And at the same time, we have like 2,000 years that all the Christian and the priests, they destroy any evidence they can approve Prophet Muhammad. This is logic, we cannot find it. But during the time of Wahhab, this text was available, by the way. Has to. Because it's just like 600 years just 600 from Jesus, and less than 50 years between Wahhab and Prophet Muhammad death. That's right or not? And Muhammad, like, he claimed it, and it's written in their book. So for sure, Wahhab, he has this text. And this took like a long night, like just thinking, wow, what's going on? What shall I do now? I cannot deny Prophet Muhammad. This is hypocrisy. Because like it's the same debate with the Christian, with the Jewish about the will. And here we have a will of my prophet with this. My prophet Jesus with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Until one day I get this vision that basically Jesus asked me to join caravan of the Hussein. And I walked up, pale, shaking, the words of Jesus, the voice of Jesus echoing in my ear, and like, what? As if he told me, like, how many times did you cry in the night and you wished that you would be with me during the crucifixion to protect me because I'm the companion of the will. Here we are. There's another companion of the will. Fulfill your allegiance to me now. It's not so long time, and the caravan of Imam Hussein landed in the city where Wahhab living. So I went to the mother. I told her, like, I'll go meet him now. What I remember actually, like, Imam Abbas, the first one I met him, took me personally to Imam Hussein. I went inside. I don't remember what I said. I said what I said. But what do I remember? That Imam Hussein, he said, God witnessed for me. Jesus witnessed for me. Your books witnessed for me. What do you want me to say more? So I turned my face in the earth. I cried a lot. And I told him, I'm coming with you. When I remember, he put his left hand on my right shoulder and told me, you are welcome, son. I went to my mom and told her, I'm going, make your decision. Didn't take so long time to say yes, and she joined us, and he made a company with Lady Zainab. That's why she gets so strong in her faith during the trip and did what she did, the mother of Wahhab, peace be upon her, during the war of Kabul al-Taf. This is the history of the will. This is the history of all the prophets and the messengers and the believers. This is the main pillar of the religion. This is the main discussion, the main topic for the believers. And it's the same time, the will is the terrifying the tyrants. And the will is the best weapon for the believer. That's why every single tyrant and disbeliever, during all the time, they follow the will. The will is the religion of God. Thank you very much.